Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of the Legal Beagle podcast. We're going to do something a little different for a few weeks. It's a limited series about getting to know Negretti Associates. I think it's important for those that might hire us, for those that are already working with us, for those that have worked with us, to know a little bit more about us, what I call peeking behind the curtain, get to know the inner workings of Negretti Associates. So I think the first thing that you should know is that I personally went to law school later in life. I didn't go to law school as my first career. It really became a second career for me. I went to Arizona State University for my undergrad, got a degree, and got into advertising sales, specifically in print media. You guys can remember there were newspapers at one time and people did read those. So I was involved in selling the advertising for a variety of different print media companies. I worked for a magazine that was based in Central America. I worked for the Arizona Republic, which was the large daily here in the Phoenix area. And I helped start a company with some friends of mine called the College Times, which was a weekly publication, kind of an alternative publication that went out to all the schools and universities in the Maricopa area. So I had an extensive background in business, and I was really looking for kind of the next step in my career. And by happenstance, I ended up going to law school. And that's an entirely different story that maybe I'll share on a different podcast. But the point is, I didn't come into this as a 22-year-old who had dreamed of practicing law. I got into this as an opportunity to advance myself personally and to do something a little bit more meaningful than what I was doing in print sales. I never got a call at night with someone asking me an urgent question about advertising. I often now get calls at night from clients and other attorneys and just friends and family asking me legal questions. And so I know that I'm in the right place because now I'm able to give back and do something that I consider a bit more meaningful than what I was doing before. So I started Negretti Associates. And when I started Negretti Associates, I really did so because I enjoyed the personal injury work that I had started to do right out of law school. And I realized it was an area where I could make the most influence and help the most people. And so I really wanted to do that work. And starting a personal injury practice is difficult unless you have a lot of money or a lot of backers, whether it's private equity now or just people, giving you money to get started. It's hard to do personal injury work because we, as a law firm representing clients that have been injured, we don't get paid until our clients get paid. So there's a lag time where we're waiting sometimes years to receive any sort of compensation that comes from the money that our clients receive. So there's a large window of time where you're waiting to be paid, and not everyone has the ability to do that. I was fortunate enough to have a loving wife who supported me, who believed in me and said, go chase your dream and I'll support you while you get it built. And so fast forward 8 years later, here we are, Negretti Associates. But I want you to understand some key tenets about our law firm. If you go to our website, you're going to see a lot of stuff on our website. And I urge you to go to our website. It's negrettilaw.com. But you can read all the stuff on our website. You can watch the videos on our website. You can read the client testimonials on our website. You can listen to our podcast. But what does all that really mean? Meaning, what does words on a page really mean? And how does that really make us different from other law firms? And why should you be either proud that we're representing you? Why should you be interested in hiring us? Or why should you refer people to us? Well, it's simple. There are three things that we stand on each and every day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is something that we believe in. It's our core values, and I call them the tenets of Negretti Associates. So the first one, you're going to see it right on the About page. It says no pressure. When I started to do more personal injury work, I realized it's a very high highly competitive area of law. There are a lot of law firms. You hear them on TV, you see them on billboards. There's a lot of people out there doing this work, and a lot of them are very, very good attorneys. Taking nothing away from the fact that they advertise or market, that's not really the point. The point is, I started to see this high pressure environment that I was becoming a part of, and it didn't feel right. If I was injured and I was looking for representation, I'd want someone to talk to me like a human being, and I'd want to have a conversation, and I'd want to feel like I have the opportunity to think about what was said and talk to my loved ones and then make a decision that's best for me. I wouldn't want to be put in a situation where I feel pressured or I feel like a customer at a used car lot where if I don't buy it now, that car is going to be gone. That's just not the way that the legal profession works. And it's not the way that I think personal injury should work. So we have a no pressure environment. If you want to talk to us about your case, great. You want to get advice? Awesome. We're happy to help. We're not going to pressure you into signing with us. We're going to tell you about what we charge. That's also on our website. And we'll talk about that in a later podcast because that's kind of taboo in our profession, I guess. But we're gonna share with you our thoughts on your particular situation, and then we're gonna tell you to take time to think about it. And if you want to hire us because you think we're the right folks to be representing you, then great, hire us, because we want this to be a marriage in a way, a partnership where you're as committed to what we're doing as we are to you. That's the only way this works. So no pressure. That's number one. Number two, we don't believe in dishonesty. And I know that sounds almost trite in a way, like who believes in dishonesty? But what I mean is, if we can't help you, if we can't benefit your situation, then we don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. And there are a lot of law firms that will take cases where they're the only ones, the law firm is the only one that is going to receive any benefit. The client isn't going to receive anything. But that's not stated up front. That's not even discussed. It's simply the law firms that do this just gobble up a bunch of cases, and unfortunately, it becomes a detriment to the clients they represent. We don't do that. We look at a case, we'll tell you whether we think there's honestly something that we can do. If we can help you, then we want to help you. We do a lot of different types of personal injury claims. Personal injury is a big category of cases. There are dog bite cases, crash cases, automobile cases, product liability cases, airbags and fuel tanks that explode. There are medical malpractice cases. There are diminished value cases. There are scooter cases. There are slip and fall cases. I could go on and on. We do all of it, but in order to do it well, we need to be honest with the clients that we represent. So we don't take cases where we don't think that we can benefit people. We try to be a resource. We have lots of information that we try to share with people so that if we can't help them, we at least equip them with some information they can take and move forward. But we don't reject cases because of size. We don't turn down clients because their case isn't worth enough to us. We say, look, if we can't provide a benefit and you can't see the benefit, then there's no reason you should be hiring us. So we believe in that honest evaluation. That's number two. Number three, this is probably the most important to me personally. We have a charitable arm of Negretti Associates. It's called Negretti Associates Gives Back. And what we mean by that is that we put our money where our mouth is. Every year, we donate thousands and thousands of dollars to charities, both local and national, different ones that we partner with. We, I think, choose a different one each quarter. And it's important to us to support these charities and do more than just write a check. We had a partnership with a food bank, and we went and did some volunteer work. We've stuffed bags of food and delivered them. So it's not just the money that we offer to these charities, which is incredibly important to them, but also the tangible work that we do. This is really, really important to us. So at the end of a client's case, a client is given an option to donate a certain portion of their settlement proceeds to the charity that we've partnered with that particular quarter. If they choose to do so, we match it 100%. And the reason we do that is because if the client's willing to forego some of the money that really was secured to make them whole, to make them put them back in the position they were before the personal injury, then we feel it's only right that we match that and take some of the fees that we were going to receive as the law firm and give those back to a charity. It's extremely important. I do a lot of philanthropic work on my own, but we have this aspect of Negretti Associates that became really important to us from the beginning, and it's just exploded, and it continues to evolve and become even better each and every day. So that's the first video podcast of 2021 regarding this getting to know Negretti Associates limited series that I'm going to run, kind of a little peek behind the curtain. So right there on the homepage, you're going to see these 3 things. They mean more than just the words that are written there. They mean a lot to us. They matter to us, and it's how we practice, and it's why the relationships we have with the clients that we represent become so strong, because we really are genuine people. And I think I said it in an interview once, we're good people helping good people, and I think you can't go wrong. So thanks for listening. Tune in next week for the next part of the limited series on getting to know Negretti Associates. Thanks.